Welcome! Today we are going to go through identifying saturated and unsaturated halocarbons. But first I would like to go through the materials that we used for our experiments. In the next clip you will see the lab equipment that we used, which includes a scale, 4 test tubes, a test tube rack, and a graduated cylinder. We also used a burner. For the experiment, we used 4 different substances. We used turpentine, cyclohexane, hexane, and an unknown substance. We tested their density, solubility, flammability, and whether or not they were saturated. Now I'd like to explain our scientific method. First, we identified the problem, which is which substance can perform arson. Then we stated our hypothesis, which is if we check the substance's flammability, density, solubility, and compare, then we can find out which one can perform arson. Then we determined our independent and dependent variables, which should appear on screen right now. So up next is the procedure. First, we tested their flammability, and we did this by pouring 1 milliliter of each substance into a test tube, into each in a different test tube. And then we dipped a copper wire into the test tubes and placed it over the flame created by the alcohol burner. We found that only cyclohexane and turpentine were flammable. Next, we calculated the mass of the substances, and we did this by weighing the graduated cylinder in which we were gonna put the substances to then weigh the substances and subtract the weight of the graduated cylinder to the final weight. We did this to be able to find out their density. Next, we did the Bayer test, in which we added potassium permanganate to each substance and observed how they reacted. The substances could either not mix at all, they could mix very well and change color, they could mix sort of well and then separate over time and change color, or they could just stay purple, which is the potassium permanganate color. We observed that turpentine stayed the same color and it didn't mix at all. Hexane mixed perfectly and turned brown. Cyclohexane mixed well but separated over time and stayed the original color. Afterwards, we did the solubility test, and we did this by adding 20 drops of water to each test tube. We found out that none of them are soluble. Finally, we did some analysis questions and answered them, and here are the answers on screen right now. Should really take this time to read them, you know. Would definitely benefit you. Honestly would. Not even lying right now. And to wrap this up, here's our conclusion. Arson is the action of provoking fire, and we wanted to find out which of these substances could provoke fire. We came to the conclusion that since turpentine was the one that was most flammable, then turpentine is the most probable to cause arson. Thanks for watching. It was really fun making this video, and I hope you enjoyed.